The demand slowdown in the Indian economy has put the dominant line of business under pressure for general insurance businesses. Falling automobile sales mean there are fewer takers for motor insurance. Forum Bhatt is standing by to tell us how the insurance companies are dealing with the situation. It's something that they may not have faced in the recent past, Forum. What is it that they are doing?
Yeah, so Neeraj, well, the slowdown in the auto sector has impacted the general insurers as well. So the motor line of business is one of the dominant line of businesses for the insurers. So the lower auto sales has led to the muted premium growth for these players. We also spoke to a few of the companies, and so many players expect the revival to happen only over the longer period of time. ICICI Lombard sees a revival in the motor business over the longer term. SBI General expects market demand for motors to remain tepid for another 2 to 3 quarters. According to Future Generali, the government's focus towards demand growth should pull up the demand in only couple of years. So with this, in the current scenario, a lot of insurers are now focusing more on the non-motor business. So even if we look at the gross direct premium trends for the industry, the non-motor segment has registered a double-digit growth up till November 2019. While the growth for motor segment remained muted at about 9%. Now looking at few of the larger players, the largest player, New India Assurance, the net earned premium for the player grew the most in non-motor segment for the first half of this year. The highest growth was seen from the motor business for the company, while the motor segment saw a degrowth of 1% for New India Assurance. Coming to the largest private player, ICICI Lombard, the net earned premium again for the non-motor segment registered a significant growth in comparison to the motor business. So moving on to what the focus area is for these players now, ICICI Lombard foresees growth from health, property and casualty segments going forward. SBI General sees growth in the retail segment to happen from the health and personal accident products. Fire and liability business being the focus in the corporate segment for the company. Future Generali has taken special initiatives for the robust growth in the retail health business. While a lot of players are focusing on the non-motor business, the product mix for the industry is largely changing now. So the gap between the motor and the non-motor business is narrowing down for the players now. So going forward, it is expected that health insurance will drive the growth for these insurers. So we spoke to a couple of players, and here's to what they have to say. ICICI Lombard sees growth in the health insurance to be higher than the motor segment. SBI General expects the company's health portfolio to grow at about 39% this fiscal. Future Generali believes that the overall health insurance will see a 16 to 17% CAGR over 3 to 5 years going forward.
Okay, Forum, thanks so much for putting that into perspective. And I think that point which shows how the growth in the non-motor space has gone up is very interesting. It's in part not a conscious decision, but because motor sales have slowed down, and therefore the companies have had to go out and look at other options, Forum, I guess.
Yeah, and so also one of the intent of the companies is to create a balance between the product mix. So right now, if you see, the motor is one of the dominant line of businesses. So they want to narrow the gap between the motor and the non-motor businesses. So that is also one of the reasons why they are aggressively focusing on the non-motor counterpart now.